Hey guys, David here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 biggest differences between the cameras of the Galaxy S6 and the Galaxy S7. Okay, so this is the short version of this video. If you would like the longer, more unedited version, be sure and click the link in the top right hand corner where I put in all of the footage and videos from this camera testing. Alright, so coming into number 1, we have overall better lighting control. And I'm saying overall to include everything from low light conditions all the way over to looking at the sun conditions. As you can see in this video, in the Galaxy S7, we have better contrast of colors and we have more control of the sunlight. You can see how the sunlight is just kind of taking over the screen on the Galaxy S6 side, whereas the Galaxy S7 has a lot better control over the amount of light that enters into the sensor. And here's a pretty good example of better lighting control in low light conditions. You can see how on the Galaxy S7, those larger pixels allows more light to come in and you have a more vivid and colorful picture all around. Notice how dark it is on the Galaxy S6 side. You can really tell a big difference in between these pictures, the overall quality improvement from the S6 to the S7. The S6 seems to have less contrast. It almost looks like it has some kind of a haze over it, especially with this picture here. The S7 is just so much clearer and sharper. It just goes to show you that more pixels isn't always everything. Okay, so back to earlier in the day, I was just walking along doing my camera testing whenever I noticed no lighting flares. That's pretty cool. Somehow they've created a technology that eliminates the lighting flares coming off of most lights. It's even in the front cam too. So that shows that it's not just a hardware update, but it's also a software update. I started noticing these lighting flares all over the place. The picture on the Galaxy S7 is so much better with this lighting flare elimination. Especially this picture here. At number 3, we have a higher frames per second slow-mo. Whenever I was doing this camera comparison, I noticed that the Galaxy S6 had 120 frames per second, while the Galaxy S7 has 240 frames per second. And you can really see how that adds to the quality of the picture. On the S6 side, it's really choppy and you can tell how it skips frames, but on the S7, it's a lot smoother. Now notice the light flickering in the background of Galaxy S7. I'm not sure what that's all about. I'm assuming it has something to do with the opening and closing of the optical image sensor. I'm not really sure. On the Galaxy S6 side, it's actually doing the same thing, just at a much slower rate. If you look closely, you'll notice that the Galaxy S7 does skip some frames every now and then, but overall it's much smoother than the Galaxy S6. I'm going to be combining number 4 and number 5 since they work together with each other, but before we get to that, there are a few other comparisons that I wanted to mention. We have clearer imaging, more dynamic color range, wider panorama, shutter speed control, and faster startup when you hit the home screen button twice. And coming in at number 4 and number 5, we have a faster autofocus and a closer autofocus. Now what you probably already know about the Galaxy S7 is that it has an incredibly fast autofocus. Everybody was making a big deal about that from the minute that the phone came out. But what you may not have known is that it also has an incredibly close autofocus. Now I'm saying that these two work together because when you're filming something up close like I am here, I noticed that the autofocus was working overtime to readjust every time that the ant walked behind a leaf or something. And so it had to autofocus pretty quickly, pretty often. And it gave me some pretty good results here with this video clip. Now this is my all-time favorite feature because you can see how clear it is and how much detail that you get in this video. I actually started to feel bad for the Galaxy S6 because I kept pulling the phones out and putting them closer in, hoping that it would readjust itself somehow, but each time it kept failing at it. I was purely letting this run on auto mode with both of these cameras. I eventually had to touch the screen on the Galaxy S6 to help it focus in this close. Alrighty guys, well there we have the list of the top 5 biggest differences between the Galaxy S6 camera and the Galaxy S7 camera. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. I try and put out content every week, but sometimes that doesn't always happen. My main subject is wilderness and bushcrafting videos. If you want to see some of that stuff, go ahead and head on over to my channel and you can find a lot of those videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.